there we go. Well, good morning, everybody. And once again, welcome to the Go Diamond Focus for Monday morning. Yes, we had a record cycle last week, as everybody can see from, or everybody should be able to see. I certainly did. A lot of people took advantage of the X Factor incentive and dramatically advanced sponsoring, and we saw that not only in the numbers, some of us, I'm sure, saw that in our checks. If you didn't see it in our checks, well then maybe some of the people who were in fact sponsoring new people that were new might have seen it in theirs. I certainly saw it in mine, and that is, I guess, always a good thing. And I got a note from our VP of Sales, Ryan Palmer. It appears that they're going to be enhancing part of that by opening up this week to new people who will be able to benefit from the 4 times promotion if they're joining this week. So in other words, nobody missed anything last week. And I think that is a beautiful thing. I think that'll further advance momentum here in July. If not certainly maintain momentum, but I would estimate advance momentum. And so obviously, stay tuned and be sure that we're communicating effectively to all of our team members. And the communication is maybe one of the primary ways in which to keep an organization obviously informed, but moving and duplicating and taking advantage of everything. So he or she that has a text broadcast system you're using, whether it's an online type of program or groupings that you have on your cell phone, getting information out to your team and having that text tree get all the way down to the end of the garden so that everybody's getting the water at the end of the garden is a powerful way to business. Maybe beyond product knowledge or understanding the comp plan. The idea is to make sure that we're communicating with our teams so that people can take advantage of things that are going to help them reach their goals and aspirations. And speaking of communication, looks like the entire world knows that when you're taking off and coming in for a landing, it's a good idea to wear your seatbelt and wear it good and tight. And all you have to do is turn on the TV to get that communication. I was thinking of Mike Sims actually this weekend, and I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about. So, having said that, a lot of great things going on in our company, and I guess given that we are right now and pretty close to the middle of the summer. By the way, happy July 4th. I hope everybody had a great weekend this past weekend. And holiday weekend, I know a lot of people went away and took a couple of days. I spoke with some of our corporate team, and they were up at Ken's getaway home in Park City with the entire family. So we had, 20 or 30 trailers in one place. And Ryan could only take so much of that. And so every moment he could, he snuck out into the driveway and was sitting in the car on conference calls over the weekend. So, and then every so often he'd tell me that, okay, my wife's out scouting around for me and I'm going to get caught here in the car, so time to go. And he'd go back to his family, enjoy the weekend. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. Speaking of which, do in the summer, while at the same time advancing our business and advancing our drive to success, whatever that might be, our personal security, financial security, and so forth. And that can be done through events, through conference calls, and through meetings, etc. By the way, just a quick note, I'm going to be back on the road in the next week or two. And I'll be doing a 3, 4, maybe a 5-city tour. And Beverly, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on this call, I might actually be showing up in Chicago. It's been a long time. So I think we have something happening in Chicago, I think maybe in the Carolinas, possibly Austin, Texas. I think Northern California, landing in San Francisco Airport. Oh, that's exciting. So, I should have information on that flight tonight, and I will confirm the cities that I'll be doing. And this is just a support tour. It is not I'm not doing any personal there as much as I am working down deep in the organization to continue to support everybody's efforts. So stay tuned for that. It'll be basically 4 cities in 5 days type of thing. And we'll do a business presentation along with an advanced training of sorts. And yes, it'll be a great venue for advancing duplication. It'll be a venue that you can take advantage of specifically to capitalize on the X Factor training, the X Factor promotion, and so forth. So watch for that. I'm hoping to, as I said, have confirmation by tonight on the Millionaires in Training call. As it relates to timing and rhythm in the business, which we've been kind of talking about here a little bit, as we all know, the convention's coming up, and I don't mean to be repetitive here because I'm sure there's been plenty of talk regarding registration for convention, but you can never say it enough. And without a doubt, when we get down to the last month, when we get down to September, there's going to be people scrambling. It happens every time, happens every year, and it'll happen this year too. And I'm just trying to minimize that difficulty for people, and so I'm going to repeat it. As it relates to convention, and this year promises to be bigger, better, badder than anything we've ever done. No question about it. More success, more new pin ranks, more new record incomes, more incentives, more programs, new products, more training, more everything. It's just going to be bigger, better than anything we've done. As it relates to that, when we get down to September, there's going to be issues of finding hotels. A lot of the choice locations will be already full. We won't be able to get into one of those hotels, and people will be scrambling and trying to find out how can they attend and have an appropriate location. And so I say that everybody should do everything within your power to ensure that your team has registered and registered now. They should have registered like the day before yesterday. Not today, not yesterday, but before yesterday. And if they haven't, you need to do it now. You need to do it today, not this week, today. Why? Well, so that you get the best available location, at the best available price, and more importantly, so that you just made the commitment. The commitment is there. It's not I'm going to be going for sure. It's I'm already registered. And by doing that, we set the example for our team and the ability to promote at the highest possible level. And so be sure that that is a part of what you're doing. If you have not already done so, I estimate most people have, but there's always a group that will wait till the last month and then make the decision, and then it's difficult. And that includes booking a plane flight and all the other components to it. It's one convention for most people, and particularly for new people, and even for those of us that have been around a little bit. Will be the moment where we can, again, refocus our personal vision. For those that are just capturing the vision or don't have the vision yet, it is a place where they will get that vision. If it's a person that's in your group, it can be a personal, but it'll likely not be a personal. It'll likely be someone deep within your organization. Several layers down, several generations down from you, that captures the vision and becomes the next rising star in Zegen. And most of our success, you look at any of the leaders in Zegen and you analyze their business, more often than not, we find that the success of that leader happened as a result of people who became stars, who rose up deep within the organization. It was not, in fact, our personals as much as it was people deep within the organization. In my career, really hasn't been people that I personally sponsored. For the most part, I have found leadership, and I have found the person with the burning desire, the person with the ingredients for success, deep within the organizations that I've built. And so I've always learned that I'm not so worried about me being a star as much as I am focused on becoming or being a star maker. I'm always looking to help somebody become a star, and in the process have everything that I've set out to have in network marketing. And Zegen's no different. This will be one of the years that, for me, and I'm sure for many others, not just for myself, but for many others, we'll be able to go to a convention and sit back wherever we're sitting and just watch the people who are being acknowledged, who are going across stage, who are reaching new levels of success, and to be able to sit there and just say, these are all people that are a part of my team. These are people that are personally sponsored or people that are many generations down from the people that I introduced, and they are the result that I have a growing business. They are the result that I've reached this rank. They are the result of why I have a residual income. And when we remind ourselves of that and really capture that concept, I mean really internalize that concept where it goes from theory to the action steps, and then manifests in reality. Then we actually, goes into our heart, just becomes sort of unconscious competence. We have then mastered network distribution. And as we all know, our income will be directly proportionate to the amount of people that we have underneath us that are successful. And so every so often I take a moment and reflect and refocus my efforts, my energies, and everything that I do on looking through the organization, saying, where can I invest? Not all of my time, but a portion of my time. who can I help advance and grow to further secure my business. And so long as we're all thinking along those lines, then we will do the next, the next action step, which is to identify who those people are, right? So I need to find the people down below, underneath me, who are the ones that need to be assisted, right? Who do I need to assist? Who do I need to help? And what do I need to do to get them to the next level? That's the question. If we look down the line, I can tell you this unequivocally, and this goes for everybody on the line that has somebody in their business. And this may be maybe the key point for this call right here, is that every single person that's on this line this morning, without a doubt, no matter how big your business is, whether it's 2 people in your business or 50 people or 100 people, every single person on this line this morning has somebody that's underneath them that will lead to the next rising star in Zija. Now that may be hard to believe. A lot of people think, well, I don't know about that. I've got a lot of deadwood. I've got a lot of uncommitted people. I got a lot of people who are not coachable, and so forth. And that may be the case. I had a lot of them too. Many of them. I've often told the story of Phil Jacobson, who last year was Distributor of the Year, who I sponsored in my first week in Zika. He was one of the first 10 people I brought into the business. And he was just really not open. I kind of forced him to join the business. He was not open. And that amounted to him quitting after 90 days. He went to 2 other companies on the way until he came back to Zija 2.5 years later, and then became Distributor of the Year. And Phil went to YTV Travel, and he went to Fortune High Tech, which just got shut down. Actually, both companies he went to got problems with the federal government. And so, but he ended up coming back to Zija, becoming Distributor of the Year. And his number 1 guy, Sean Danaher, was the Chairman's Club recipient last year. Well, Phil, in that 90 days that he was here, that distributor made some introductions for me. He introduced me to Fred Holmes, and he introduced me to a couple of other people, and I worked with those people. I let go of Phil, but I worked with those people. And it turned out that, Fred Holmes was a great leader, but he wasn't destined to be the biggest leader, but he's a great leader. He's actually coming to Toronto this month on the 20th. Well, Fred worked through a list of people that I gave him. And through that list, Fred found Pat Anderson and got me hooked up with Pat again. I knew Pat from the previous company that I was in, but Fred found her again by making 500 phone calls. And Pat ended up becoming a Diamond Elite DLC member and one of our top leaders and a big piece of one of the organizations in my business. And so it shows you how one person can lead you to another, to lead you to another, to lead you to a great deal of success. And so I say to you that all of us have those dynamics, those situations within our business. And the idea is to learn how to farm that reality, how to work through people, what questions to be asking people, how to get to people's center of influence, to their lips, to that one person, and then build a relationship and lock arms, work through that person until you build and drive an organization beyond your personally sponsored people. That's the idea. That's the concept. That is true network marketing. That is the essence of network marketing. I talk a lot about these concepts in detail, in great detail, in the 10-hour program, The Art of Network Distribution. That is a downloadable MP3 format to be listened to on an iPod or a smartphone or on any other device, where each of those concepts are broken down into 11 sections, and each of the 11 sections are broken down into sort of 10-minute, 15-minute, 8-minute podcasts, and each of those podcasts detail all of these types of concepts. And so for those that want to anchor any of these, that is available off of One Team Worldwide, and you'll see it there. And so in creating an organization, we basically go through these three processes, or these three levels of awareness. And I've done a training on this before, that it doesn't hurt to repeat it, as we are in that moment now of building towards convention, and the convention is going to be where we see all the people who have become the stars in the business. And so, what are those three levels of awareness and three processes that each of us will go through? By the way, I've been through them. I went through this exact same process. My very first company, December 1989, was marketing water filters. And I can tell you at age 27, I kind of got the idea of building an organization. I saw what that could do, looking at the people that were successful at my first presentation, my first exposure to the industry. But the only thing I really had an awareness for, the only thing I could see, was the product. I couldn't see beyond the product. I couldn't relate beyond the product. And so I became a product-centered distributor, and everything I was doing was all about the product, right down to the installation of the water filter. I became a water filter salesman, because I was so focused and so in love with that product. And it took some time before I went to that next level of awareness. Before I became aware that the power of our business, the power of network marketing, the power of duplication, the power of residual income was just as exciting and could do just as much good for people, to change people's lives as much as the product, as the benefits people were getting from the product. The opportunity was just as strong. And when I had that awareness, I started to learn a new skill, and the skill was the ability to promote and project our business at the same level as I was promoting and projecting the product. And so I started to adjust my testimonial, to change the language within my testimonial. I started to say different things to people, things that gave them more vision for the business that we're in. They were able to see residual income, lifestyle, time freedom, sending their kids to the best colleges and universities, having, 5-star vacations, and the finer things at home and in life. It wasn't just about money and cars, it was about having the options. Basically, I had learned to sell the dream, to market the dream, to give people a vision, to give people and rekindle their dreams. And that happened as a result of what I was saying, the way in which I was saying it. I was able to paint pictures for people in the language that I was using and the words that I was using, word pictures, and so forth. And so that when I did my testimonial, it inspired people to become business builders. It inspired people to enroll others. It inspired people to build an organization, as opposed to inspired people to become water filter salespeople. And that was the second level of awareness. And so, again, I guess what I'm saying on this call is, where are you? Where are your teammates? Ask that question. Are you 100% focused on product? Or do you also have a well-balanced presentation that attracts people into the business also? Okay, I know we're all trying to build the business. The question is, are we saying the things that actually build the business? Or are we saying things that sell the product? And once I achieved that level of awareness, my business exploded. I stopped struggling in the industry, struggling to make a living, struggling to get a little bit of residual income. I started to, all of a sudden, it started to become quite easy. And then there was another level of awareness I wasn't even aware of. It wasn't even part of my consciousness, because I was so centered on my own success that it didn't occur to me that my success was dependent on the success of others. I mean, I understood it as a concept, but operating as a way of being was another story. So what happened was, I went to a training one day, and see, this is what happens at a convention. This is what happens at these big events. I went to a summit in the company that I was in. Now, this was another company. This was a company about 3 years later, okay, called Bodywise International. And I went to a summit in Palm Springs, California. I mean, I've captured these stories. I remember them like they were yesterday. This is 1993. Palm Springs, California. And I'm sitting in the audience, and this training, the one that I'm doing right now, is the one that they were doing at that event. And Dan McCormick gets up on stage, and he talked about the first level of awareness with product. He talked about the second level of awareness with the business opportunity, and how that shows up in our testimonial and in the language that we speak when we're on stage, when we're on a conference call, when we're sitting at a one-on-one presentation with a new person. What it is that we're saying that inspires and empowers a person to move and to do the things that we want them to do because they want to do it. And he started talking about the third level awareness, where he said, you take the awareness, or you take the focus off of yourself. You take the focus off of yourself and your own success and your own product story and your own success from the business standpoint, and you project that focus onto your key leaders, onto your teammates. And it was a hard thing to do, because so many of us, and certainly for me, I can speak for myself, are in survival mode. And when we're in survival mode, we're thinking about, paying our bills, we're thinking about paying our mortgage and paying our credit card debt and so forth. And it's hard to focus on somebody else when we are in survival mode. Hard to do that. But as we all know, when we do that, when we focus on somebody else, when we are in a difficult situation, and even though we're in a difficult situation, we still put our primary focus on somebody else, because there's always somebody else in a more difficult situation. But we put our focus on the success of others, we are then planting the seed for our success. Because in the end, when the dust settles, when everything is audited at the very end, our success will be measured on how many other people we affected in a positive way. There's no question about it. I mean, people are remembered at their funeral during the eulogy, not by that which we accumulated, not by our house, our car, or our bank account, but as we all know, our life is measured by how much impact we had on other people. And that really tells the story, because that is the third level of awareness of network marketing. We reach a point as a leader where it becomes more important for us to have our teammates walk across the stage and get recognized and acknowledged for success than it is for our own acknowledgement. It becomes more important, it becomes more inspiring, it creates more fulfillment when our teammates walk across the stage and get recognized for success than our own success. That, ladies and gentlemen, is when the magic happens in our business. That is when our business explodes. That is when we go to an entirely new level. That is when we start to realize everything that is promised in network marketing. In fact, probably in anything in life, but in particular in our business. And it comes with not that much effort. It actually comes very easy. You know, I'm walking around right now in my family room, looking out the window in a pair of shorts and slippers, doing my business Monday morning at 9:30 on a conference call, and I have a few other calls to make. And I work hard, but it's not the same kind of hard that I worked in the early days of the business. And so, I'd like to end this call by saying this. There are a lot of people, I heard a lot of them on the line this morning, from Beverly Thomas to Michael Bridges and Hazel Harry and others who joined us on this call. I just didn't catch everybody's name, but caught a few. There's a lot of great people on this call who don't even know how good they really are. Or maybe they do know how good they are, but they just have not yet pulled the trigger all the way. And I'm saying to you, it's time to pull that trigger. If not for you, for the sake of somebody else that's waiting for you to pull that trigger, because their success, their livelihood, their family, their kids, their health, their prosperity depends on what you're going to do next. It actually depends on what you are going to do next. Why? Because you may be that catalyst to their success. You may be that linchpin that's actually going to affect what happens to them next. And we don't know these things. We only learn about these things in retrospect. I can look back today and see how many people have been affected in a positive way as a result of the decisions that I made. And I can also look back and say how many people have not been affected because I've chosen at some points not to make some of those decisions. And so I'm saying to you, it's a great time to make those decisions. We've got all the pieces in place in Zija right now to do it. Take advantage of it. Step up your game, especially in light of this X Factor promotion, and in light of the fact that the convention is coming, and we'll see you all at the top. So good morning to everybody. Have a great cycle 2. We will be on the Millionaires in Training call tonight. I'm actually feeling quite inspired. I think it's time for me to go to another level. Time for me to step up my game, which I intend to do. And let's start on that tonight at the the Millionaires in Training call. Maybe we can build for a big call tonight. Let's see what we can do. Bring your team. Bring guests. Get what they need to come into your business. And to duplicate maybe by the end of this week and actually take full advantage of the X Factor promotion. And so with that, everybody, have an awesome week and continued success. Ladies and gentlemen, the lines are open.
Thank you for doing it, Marcia. Last week from Georgia. Thank you.